don't think he knows anything about it.
Right.
This is
we don't know.
after.
We don't know what Gaspar can do. We don't know if these are items.
Are you still
that are
holding
meant
your pets close? Are you kind of cuddling them?
both of them?
Yeah, just kind of
the
like.
cat
No, I mean, are you really?
They
like,
don't like each other. The fox, yes, and I assume the cat's
Okay.
just nearby.
Okay, but are you kind of like have you been holding them during that whole like exchange?
Yeah.
So you're holding on to the stuffed polar bear.
What?
Ha, your turn.
Your turn.
Flashback.
Oh!
Okay. With this help, with the.
You get
Sorry,
shakers.
my mind at first was like, no, Nikita turned into a what?
That'd be sweet. A fox that can turn into a polar
No, it's-
Okay,
that's
go ahead.
Harking back to wolf.
So you're basically holding on to the stuffed polar bear that you have, and you're sort of in your house. It's sort of a mixture, an odd mixture of borealic wood and ice, actually. Sort of in between each of the different areas is sort of keeping everything together, almost as though it's acting as sort of a mortar or a glue for the entirety of the house.
Okay.
It creates a very pleasant atmosphere in the house, very cool, very crisp. And right now, you're just sort of sitting on the floor on a pillow. You're kind of holding it close, and just kind of rocking back and forth a little bit. And mostly, you're just a little scared from the story that your father told last night. It's still going through your head, and it won't quite go away. The particulars you don't quite remember at this point, but it's more just like a little bit frightening. And you feel a hand on your shoulder that makes you kind of jump a little bit for
Some
a brief
days
moment.
it's 100 degrees.
My little Mishka, it is just me. It is just your mother. Are you okay?
I'm okay now. It's okay.
Does your father tell you another one of those stories?
No.
Mishka, I need you to be honest with me.
Maybe.
Are you feeling a little bit scared again? Come here. Come on. And she just grabs onto you, and you can kind of feel that like cool air coming off of her. And it's just kind of giving this cool embrace. And it's sort of like being in a cocoon of ice when you're in her hands. It's just inviting and warm but cool at the same time.
It's a cocoon of ice.
Yeah. And she kind of brushes your hair, over your ear and away from your face, and just kind of looks down at you. And you realize at this point she's kind of making the little snowflakes above your head. And you can kind of feel them each touching your face, and as you grab and each of them, you can feel them melting in your hand. And everything begins to calm down a bit. You can kind of see as you're laying there that sort of off to the side is Aunt Viola, and she seems to be knitting something. And she's practicing at this point with sort of ice knitting. It's a mixture of actually using cloth and mixing it with actual forms of ice that kind of keep it all together. And she's just seems to keep on trying, but doesn't quite have it the way your mother does. All the tapestries up on the wall and everything around you is basically the pillow even that you were sitting on. All was formed out by your mother. And she's a true artist of its form. Viola, on the other hand, is not quite so good at it. But she seems to still be enjoying doing it anyways. Your father has gone out hunting to bring back food for later. And as you're just sort of resting there, your mother just kind of tenses up for a brief moment. Her head just kind of rises. Viola doesn't seem to do anything. She's just continuing to do everything there. Viola, could you take Mishka out back for a moment? Viola kind of looks up and looks sort of at you. Sure.
I don't want to go outside.
Let me do the accent. Do not worry, young one. Mishka, everything will be okay. But we have company.
Good company? Exciting? Did they bring toys? I like when company brings toys. Viola always brings me toys.
It is not the company that you should be here for. Please. I will speak to them. And now I'm sort of more German. I will speak to them and send them on their way.
Okay, and then we get ice cream when I come back in.
Yes.
Okay.
Viola takes your hand, and you kind of look up at Viola, and you see that she's looking at your mother with sort of a worried, like, should I be worried look. And the exchange that they have of faces doesn't make you feel any better. As Viola just kind of squeezes your hand a little bit more, not tight, but just a little bit more, and come on, Mishka.
Viola, will you carry me?
She nods and lifts you up and puts you on her shoulders. And kind of ducks as she goes out the door to the back.
I feel better if she carries me.
And as you're going out, you kind of hear, like, it's almost like bells, and it begins snowing outside, and you just sort of see this carriage appearing in front of your house. It seems to be made completely of ice, and in portions of it you kind of see through it and see that there's a figure sitting inside, but she's a bit hazy. And the other figures, also made of ice, come down off of the carriage. Now, you didn't see anything of where it came from. It almost came out from the snowstorm itself. And just as you're about to see the face of who it is, the door closes behind you. So, Mishka, do you want to have a snowball fight while we wait?
Do you know what's going on?
I'm sure that it's nothing terribly important. I'm pretty sure your mother has it under control. And you hear a scream. And she just kind of holds you for a moment, grabs the door, and kind of peeks it open. And she just has this horrified look on her face. Do you try to fight against her and look?
I'm going to grab onto her legs and then try to like peek around.
Okay, as you look through and you're kind of peeking around, you can't quite make out the face of the person your mother's talking to. Like, there's sort of things in the way, but you can see that she's holding on to something in her hands and just throwing it down to the ground and sort of like sprawling out. And you just see your father's head just kind of flop over. It's just not moving at all. And at that point, Viola closes the door. Mishka, close your eyes. And she just picks you up with one hand, and you hear something kind of sliding behind you. Do you peek at all, or it looks like as though she's just kind of grabbed a sled. It's one of the sleds that you use for the dogs, but you currently don't have any. Well, you have dogs, but it's not attached to any of them, and she's dragging it towards the dog pen. And as she's dragging it away, you hear just sort of yells and shouts coming from inside of the house. You're not able to make really much of it out. It's just sort of muffled, but you can hear that it's very heated or cold, depending on how you look at it. As she gets over to the pen, she begins attaching the dogs on, and the dogs sort of stand at attention, sort of realizing what's happening, and just sort of allow themselves to be attached. Mishka, get on the sled.
I don't want to go.
Get on the sled. Just get on the sled and stay there. And Viola begins taking off. So, do you get on the sled? You get on it. You sit on top of the sled, and you're polar bear still. You still have the polar bear in hand. You're still just sort of clutching it to yourself, and she just sort of disappears off over the ridge towards the house. And you can kind of make out the top of the house at this point. And suddenly you see Viola running back as fast as she can, as fast as her legs will take her. And behind her, you see that ice begins to cover over the entirety of the house. And Viola just leaps onto the sled and calls mush, hits the reins and everything begins moving as you basically begin taking off into the snow. And as you're going, the velocity of everything, the sort of the movement of all of it, your hands kind of lose themselves, and your polar bear goes flying out. And you're just kind of holding on to the edge and watching as your polar bear is just going away into the snows. And at that moment, you still realize you're sort of staring down the stairs, and the three of them have sort of come up and are having their conversation. I don't know if we should really believe him, to be honest.
I think we can.
He's earnest about what he's saying. Whether he can actually control Gaspar is another thing entirely.
Agreed. I don't think he can. But he is genuine.
So do you think that
Of all the people to come back in the city at a time like this,
Misha? What do you think? Do you think we should trust what he said?
Who?
The whole conversation that just went on. Are you okay?
I think we should find out.
I'm okay. Oh. Valerian boy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you should maybe take a nap.
I'm okay. I just need some more of Parno's special water.
I think maybe you had too much of Pano's special water.
I might disagree, but I think she needs the rest of it and bed.
No, he's trying to protect a man who tried to kill me, and you guys are questioning whether or not we should trust him. Really? Really? This is a debate?
I would like to know what Gaspar is doing here in town. Like, why did he come back? For all intents and purposes, he was exiled. Not just from the school. He was.
Was he exiled from the town? I thought he wasn't.
It wasn't
exiled.
official, but he wasn't. He was.
Oh no,
he
he
was
was exiled from the school and exiled from.
It was made
Epsilon.
clear he was
I
not
wasn't
welcome.
sure.
Yeah.
And
The
maybe
first watch basically kicked him
At
out.
least couldn't remember.
Yeah, that's alright.
go talk to Lambert. Lambert works with the first watch, and maybe he's here illegally, and I can, file a report. Bring Lambert here because
That is actually an excellent idea.
Right, but the thing that no one, Gaspar left, and we know that he was studying under people. He wasn't by himself. We don't know what he's capable of. So he could very well have some capability where he could
Do
be
you
in multiple
think-
places at once. It could have even just been a figment of him and not him in actuality.
that's enough that I have proved
Yeah.
this. So
That is possible.
I doubt it was a figment.
He's.
But you can have that capability of transporting things.
Well, let's hope Gaspar hasn't gotten something like that under his
I don't think Gaspar would have the
patience.
exactly to learn that. Do you saw how?
no, yes, I understand. I'm not having a good day.
Look,
No.
I think maybe for tonight, you're right. We should get some rest. I think we should have a guard posted, just to be safe. Someone should stay up. Not the whole night. I'll take first.
Do we like a system of watches sort of thing?
Yeah.
I think we should call Lambert now. Maybe he can help a watch.
What time of day is it? Actually?
Right now the sun's set already, so it's kind of that at dusk moment where there's just a little bit of light still coming, but not a whole lot, and all the lights in the street are being lit. So it's fairly late, but I mean, a couple of you could try to find him. He works with the first watch, and you know where his guard post is.
Does he have night shifts or day shifts?
It depends on what he's doing. First watch are more like they're like police detectives within the city, so they work more on that level.
Let's stay together tonight and get him in the morning. And let's make sure the door's locked. If Gaspar has been trying to pick our lock, I'd rather not have us split up for tonight. And then tomorrow, first thing.
All right, I'll be first. Who wants to take second?
Sure, I can.
I'll take the morning. Let's do 3 watches.
Sure.
I can do last. It's okay.
No, I think you should rest. After everything that you've gone through today, you're the one who needs it most.
But he looks down at what's the fox's name?
Nikita.
Nikita. But Nikita, you need to be alert. Not you.
He kind of looks up, still a little sick, and just like, sure.
He says,
Maybe Nikita sleep in my bed and Streaker can guard my door.
"Stinker."
Streaker!
He calls him Stinker all the time.
And I will always hit you for it. Streaker is good. Look what he did to Corwin. See, he's very protective. Sorry, Corwin. I am very sorry.
Yes,
Sorry, not sorry.
He's always been very protective in that way.
Streaker just knew, like animals do, something was wrong with me, and then, he sees big man and just thinks, oh.
So, Parno, when you wake up the next morning,
Did you wake me up for a watch? We're bad at this.
Yep. You wake up to the sound of kids playing outside, and they're all just kind of doing its usual. There's a bunch of refugee kids who are nearby, a lot of orphan children, and they're kind of doing this whole like they're making fun of someone, so they're just repeating a name over and over again like kids do. And you basically kind of like you're remembering back at the orphanage with Master Vankoff. Because of the way that his name was spelt, the kids would call him Wankoff. And unfortunately, Parno may have instigated it sometimes. I mean, because, you were 6.
There's also a good distraction.
Yeah, exactly. And so, it's just basically kind of in your mind is this sort of chant of these kids saying this all the time. And he hated it. Absolutely hated it. Just every moment of it. But yeah, you don't know why, but that sort of just kind of comes to your head. And then you remember, I was supposed to be going to lunch this morning.
So now I'm doubly annoyed.
Mm-hmm. And you look over towards Corwin's bed. Wait, do you guys have separate bedrooms, or are you, like, sharing bedrooms?
I think
they're all separate.
Separate?
yeah,
Okay.
because we had enough money for it.
Okay,
Right, you
yeah.
said if we were in the coins, we could afford
Oh,
a
that's
big
right.
place.
And then you can have your own place. Yep, you got it. All right, so you step out of your room, and you see that Corwin is on a chair, slumped over, and sleeping.
Excellent. I go downstairs, open up the door.
Okay, the door's still locked.
Okay, well, at least that's... Unlock the door, look out. I don't even look at who they're making fun of. I just shout at the kids, make fun of someone your own size! I close the door, lock it again, go back up to the kitchen.
Okay. And as you're making your way back up again, there's a knock at the door.
If it's kids, I'm just kind of saying this out loud as I'm turning around and going back down. Unlock the door, open it, hello?
And you see it's a very tired Lambert. You weren't over at the inn, so I figured I'd check if you were here.
Oh, we were actually going to go visit you this morning. Come on in.
You okay? comes in. He's just sort of like he just looks as though he's probably been awake for a long time. His eyes are kind of bloodshot.
I think we have.
He's still wearing his guard uniform.
We have some tea upstairs that I think Mishka keeps. You do tea? Doesn't matter. I think you do.
Coffee? Do they have coffee in this universe?
Cough?
Oh yeah,
Coffee?
there's coffee. Coffee comes from Potipetch. It's been a little bit hard to get lately, especially with problems to the south. But you might have a little bit left over.
There's a tea that she's been substituting for a coffee.
I'm hoarding it in every crack in my room.
Yeah, so there's no coffee.
You're right. We'll find something.
Well, you have it all. You're hiding it.
Come on up.
All right, as you come up, Corwin suddenly, like, as you're kind of coming close to him, Corwin jumps from his chair and he's like,
How do you soldier?
and he doesn't even have anything in his hand. He's acting like he has a weapon.
How do you soldier?
I fell asleep and watched it.
Yes, you did.
Christiana's never going to live it down, is she?
Mm.
You are neither. Okay.
Nope. It's okay. Stinker kept watch, right?
Well, at least somebody got some sleep. And he takes off his sword and he sets it down on your table and grabs his helmet, sets it down as well.
I just shoot a chair.
Do you mind if I just take this off?
By all means.
He starts undoing the straps on his armor. I know I should probably have just gone home, but after the night I've had, I don't think I could sleep for a week.
As he passes out.
Would this clinking like wake up?
Oh yeah.
the rest
You begin,
of us?
you begin hearing
Okay.
clinking going on outside. It almost kind of has that sound like of like steel on steel. So it could be fighting. It could be whatever.
Before you go into your night, you should know Gaspar's back.
He stops He stops everything. As if,
He tried to throttle Mishka
when did you come back?
sometime yesterday before.
How did you know he was back?
He tried to throttle Mishka in the street.
What?
At some point now, I'm going to walk
All right.
out. I'm just
So you
waiting
come out
for
as you're hearing throttle
Okay.
Mishka in the street.
Yesterday.
Are you coming out, or are you more like? Are you in what mode are you?
Well, I'm assuming that I actually genuinely woke up, and I probably already assumed that Corwin probably would have fallen asleep.
No, you never woke up. He never woke you.
But that's just not like me, though, to just not...
Right. Well, no, you're awake at the time you normally wake up in the morning.
Right. I know, but I'm saying it just doesn't feel like me
Yeah.
to not have been like, well, I'm going
Like
to
the schedule in your brain
strategically-
that this is when it's
like,
going to happen? Yeah.
It's hard to keep a schedule at like 2 a.m. Like, body
Yeah,
rhythm.
but she's quite regimented.
Okay.
But yeah, I probably. Assuming what time is it?
It's
It's early
morning.
morning.
It looks like it's usually when you wake up in the morning, so about around like 7.
Okay. Then yeah, just normal. I
Okay.
probably have assumed that I figured out who it probably was. So
Kind of look over at the water clock, and yeah, it's your normal time for waking up.
Have a water clock.
I'm assuming the person who's all about time and being on time and everything
Yeah.
else would have a water clock.
Spend your 1 year's salary on it.
well, somebody has to be punctual.
My compass has a little flip up thing that you can use for the sundial.
All right, so you continue. You were saying,
Late afternoon, Mishka was going to Corbin, saw Gaspar outside. Gaspar attacked her. Corbin came out and he was running away, but she was unconscious. Oh, and Mishka's just coming. You're just coming out of the room.
I didn't even put it together. I mean, I didn't.
Then last night,
Let me just ask you really quick. Could you describe him again for me?
I didn't see him, but Mishka, what does he look like now?
You don't have to worry about actually describing. We can just say you describe him. I don't have a picture for him just yet, so.
Haven't
I
found
don't see
one
them.
quite
The
evil
fits.
Weasley. In
Yeah, right. Exactly. I will by
Lambert,
next week. or next
Lambert, look what he did to me. Look.
It would probably be more like, look what he did to me.
I need you to tell me everything.
The meat.
What was he wearing? Did he have on sort of a goldish sort of vest over his tunic, and the tunic was sort of a white color with bits of red within the collar?
It's
I
very
think
specific.
so. Very. I mean, these colors are right, but he was choking me. I can't get.
He looks more awake now.
Detail hard to see.
That's just weird.
He picked me off the ground, Lambert.
I mean,
Has he been?
he's kind of like, it's like he's in the middle. He hasn't quite decided whether he's taking his armor off or putting it back on again.
Has he been going after other people as well?
No, it's just a witness saw a face, a description that I guess could be put towards Lambert if he was older, but if you say that he's wearing that outfit, then it's exactly the description I saw.
Valerian was here. He knows Gaspar's back and promises to be able to to control him.
Gaspar was seen fleeing the scene of a crime that I was investigating all night.
What crime? What's he do? Did you know what, Lambert? For you, I start make a little copy.
Do you have coffee?
You have coffee?
Just this one cup. This is the last bit, but I do it for Lambert because he'll help me.
Have you guys ever heard of a costume shop called the Black Mask?
It's in the Queens?
No, it's in the Ascendant Quarter. Turns out, I had no idea of this, but it was a front for a church of Norgorber. So Norgorber, for those of you who don't know, is basically the god of death and trickery and assassins. Really quick.
Makes sense, costume job.
There were a lot of dead people there. And I mean a lot. And we had one witness that saw someone fleeing from the scene that fits the exact description then, I guess, of Gaspar, but I didn't put it to Gaspar because as far as I knew, that bastard wasn't even in the city anymore.
They were all murdered?
In probably what is the most horrific way I think I have ever seen. It looked as though a couple of them had actually killed each other. Some of them were slain and multitudes of cuts, fine cuts all across their body. Others, the best way I can put it is that they were scared to death. And then it's almost like they took a few of them, cut open their skin, and just peeled it back. And left them there as
Stop.
like,
Stop.
oh, sorry. And realizes that the two of you are sort of in the room, and I'm sorry, I'm just used to being amongst other First Guardsmen.
Jericho, please help.
I won't be so graphic. It was just horrifying.
Did they say that Gaspar did it, or that he saw it, or they just ran away?
Gaspar was never even mentioned. As I said, the only thing that was known was the witness from one of the temples, who was basically a layperson over at the temple for Kid Kalen, had been cleaning up the bar afterwards, and happened to see him running away from the Black Mask.
It's been years. Nobody here would know Gaspar. You know?
First of all, those people were trained assassins. Understand that a front for Norgorber means that each and every one of them was probably an assassin for hire.
They wouldn't fall to one man.
I don't think Gaspar can do this by himself.
Or maybe he was one of them and just saw it and managed to get away.
We need to find Valerian.
All right. He basically starts putting back on his armor.
Valerian was here, said that Gaspar wanted to come after us and was starting with Corbin.
Are you willing to do a statement as to what happened yesterday?
Yes, of course, but only if you walk me with you two. I don't go alone.
No, we can do it right here.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Don't worry, he'll protect you.
He takes it. He goes into one of his pouches and he takes out a it's a little golden ball. Sets it down on the ground, and you see that he just taps
Is it
it
a
once.
remember all?
Swords.
This is not affiliated.
No,
Remember all.
Taps it once, it kind of rises up, and you see that it basically begins whirring a little bit. It basically has like a beam of light that comes out towards your face.
Zone of truth.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what it is?
Just make certain that you're being honest. I know some people like to put in little bits of lies or keep out things, but it will know whenever you lie.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, I do.
And if you want to, we can just say you tell him the whole thing. Is there anything you do want to try to keep out? Like, do you want to keep out the objects that were left? Or do you want to tell him about that? Now remember, that's going to be recorded, so other First Watch people will find it and things like that, so that would expand outwards.
Okay, I think Mishka would start the story at I was going to see Corbin without giving explanation because...
But you're still keeping out information. It's not lying, but its Zone of Truth works a little bit on the, like, it knows when you're keeping certain things out as well. I'm asking that...
But here's what I'm saying.
You were like,
the object...
sign man's hand.
I think
Yeah.
it actually
Okay, so
depend on the questions that he was asking her, though, I think.
Right, I mean, like,
Really?
if this was going to be just, like, I sit down and, like, tell me your story,
Right.
the objects, like, that was before
But
I was on my way to Corwin's, and I would just not give a reason for me going to see Corwin because I would just, like, assume that he would assume it's my friend.
It's not about lying. It's like, it's about... It can see beyond just lies.
It is a will save.
Yeah, it's a will save. It's not just about a lie, it's about removing information that is part of the whole thing. Because remember, you still see Gaspar as potentially the person who left the objects there. Potentially.
Right.
And so that's what I mean, is by basically removing that, you're removing a vital piece of information as to Gaspar's motives, and that's what it would notice.
And they might want to know, because these could be some crazy cursed things.
But I think you don't want them to know, because otherwise a whole bunch of people know about it, and yeah.
Right,
So why don't you just give me a will save, is what I'm saying, so that
Okay.
you can try to lie to the device.
That would have been a lot
Dice
easier.
cam?
Well, I was trying to get there.
Dice cam?
Give me a second. This is a brand new set of dice, and I didn't want to open right away.
Brand new set of dice.
It is. On my
And
pretty
just have
dice.
Jamin hold on to like the D20 for like 5 seconds.
No!
It'll be fine.
I will melt his face.
Actually, we'll go with this one. There we go.
Right, Luke? It'll be fine.
What? Yeah.
Jamin just rolls your dice.
Hold on. Of course, every time I need this, it goes to sleep. So 13.
13. All right, so you kind of feel yourself as you're doing it, and you sense the whole thing like it's trying to catch something from you. And as you're trying to remove that information or just not tell it, you know it wants to extract it. Like you can kind of feel it there. You can feel that it sort of knows, but some part of you alters the device. And it continues on, and you just sort of know that it happened. Like you're not sure what you just did, but somehow you changed it so that it's recording. It's just truth. The whole truth thing. It's not happening anymore in that device. You could lie to it all you want. Anyone could lie to it at this point, and it would no longer do. You're not sure how long it'll last, but
Other than that omission, I'm not lying. I'm not.
Right.
I'm
I'm just letting you know that,
Okay.
that you kind of have this realization that you did it, and there's almost, I almost kind of want to have you do another will save to sort of keep your face at that moment, but I won't. So I think you're cold-faced enough, so it'll be fine.
We're pretty
coming
soon.
back.
And so as you're going through and you basically explain everything to him, he sort of taps on it, it stops, and it kind of comes down again, and he grabs it.
Sorry.
If I might make a suggestion, perhaps I can put you all in some sort of custody, something that you can be safe. We have safe houses in the city. I can put you in one of them if you would feel safer there, put you under armed guard. Look, if Gaspar is doing this and he's also going after you, if he has any part of it,
But Lambert,
I am not trained to deal with assassins, much less you.
You
Lambert,
should also bear in mind he
listen.
might come after you.
yes,
So
you,
You're
it's-
public enemy
you
number
are
one.
part of
if
this.
he's willing to go after Corbin to get to me,
then he will come after.
It's almost as though he's so stuck in his job that he didn't even
right?
consider,
Yeah,
like,
he's
Personal
like,
ramifications.
Oh,
Yeah.
he might be wanting to kill me more than everyone.
I don't mean to scare you, but the truth, it is. We need
And
to tell
we
you.
don't know what he's capable of, whether he is.
I have a job to
superhuman
do.
or
I
something.
can't worry about that. If he's going to come after me, he comes after me, but I have to do my job.
And that's fine, but let your superiors know.
Oh, believe me, I will. I'm going to have to talk to my father.
But perhaps, if we went into some sort of custody, perhaps you could just be our, or
Could you give me a
perhaps
job
you
at a
could just be
different
our
inn?
guard.
That's part of my identity. Can you give me a job at a different inn?
We're not going to have to go so far as to set up new identities for you. I'm just talking about a safe house that you can stay at for a few days while we sort this out. That's all. Look, just get anything together that you can carry, anything you might need, all right? Just pack it all up. I'll be back, okay?
Okay. All right.
He grabs his sword and straps back on again.
Can we vacate?
Lambert, I'm
Where
sorry.
we can't go anywhere,
No,
and
you'll
there
find
are
me.
residents.
Where we tell lots of stories.
I promise. I'll get this taken care of. Just stay safe, okay?
Do you want one of us to go with you?
Grab his helmet. No, stay here. You'll be safer. You guys aren't trained. And he just turns and heads towards the door. And lock your door as he closes the door behind him.
I go down and lock it.
Okay.
So, yeah, we can treat it as a vacation where we get to,
An all-inclusive, no one can leave vacation.
maybe they just accompany us wherever we went. Maybe,
mean, I'm pretty
maybe
sure-
he'll give us like a list of safe houses and we can just pick one of the best ones.
I've never been under house arrest,
I've
but
heard
I
it.
assume that you can't
I've
leave.
heard it's not house arrest. It's
right,
it's
but
like
it's protection.
It's going to be like
which
house arrest.
Usually, yeah.
I've heard that
Oh.
the safe watch, the first watch rather, has their own masseuse.
I'm pretty sure that's not true.
That sounds pretty.
Did you look at Lambert? I don't think he has massages. He looks like he needs one.
Well, I'm not saying they use them all that often, but since we're not going to be doing anything all day, maybe they let us borrow him or her.
Can we just have? I don't
But
think
maybe-
it works like that.
We are better not in safe house because, as I'm sure you all noticed, there are certain things I did not tell Lambert. We need to investigate our own. The objects, these things.
Well, before we make the decision one way or another, then, how would we go about learning more short of finding Gaspar?
I don't want to find Gaspar. We don't know it was him. Maybe we go to magic person. They can look at these.
That's a good, actually, very good.
I think that would be best.
That is a good idea.
And smart if
I
you
think-
listen to me.
At the very least, we do need to get
I've
some things
listened to
together.
you.
Whether we go into
Sometimes.
custody or not, whether we're under protection or not, we need to make sure we have things. Maybe we can go into this protective custody, we can stay there for a moment, we can sneak out, and then we can do investigating. But at least from there, it's not a place where Gaspar knows where we live.
and is trying to pick her
Yes, I agree. We don't stay here.
Alright, I'm gonna go get some things. You guys gonna be okay?
Yes.
Isn't he-
Doesn't he
live
live with
here?
us?
Yeah, I know, but he
Oh,
looks
okay.
super worried. Like he's just like
Okay.
in uber worried mode. He like goes to his door and he like kind of
I like how we both are like,
he leaves the door open
he
and
lives
occasionally
here,
like
right?
peeking out the door, making sure that everyone's still okay, kind of thing.
Okay, I am packing up all of the
All right,
streaker
so you're all
and
going.
food.
You're all going into. You're grabbing your food, and everyone's going in their room.
No, I'm
and packing
grabbing
up.
the pet food.
Right. So you pick up the pet food, and you guys are all in your rooms. As you pick up the pet food, you go into your room and you kind of like set it down, and Streaker kind of walks in with you.
because you
And as you look up over by your window, which is currently open, you see Viola standing there, and she looks at you. And
Oh,
and
it's Mishka?
yeah,
Okay,
this is
sorry,
just
sorry,
Mishka,
sorry.
and she goes, "Shh! I need you to do exactly as I tell you." And that's where we're gonna take a break because that's a really good point to take a break.
Are you sure?
We'll be back momentarily with more
Really?
of Shattered Fates, and oh, we're not even on all of us. We're just there. We go. Hi, there I am.
No, this isn't like we're not done for the
We're not done for the
day.
night.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is
10
just a
minute
break.
break,
We're
we'll
going
be
to take
right
a 10-minute
back.
break, but I need to use the restroom and I need to get us to this point first. And we'll be there momentarily.